TPS reports, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. We got a three-headed monster on the show today. I'm Justin. The middle guy is Joshua Padrone, and the guy on the far end is Ian Hull. Josh, how are you today, my friend?
All good, buddy. Happy to be here today.
Yeah, dude, happy to have you back. Ian, 2 times in a row, man. Obviously, you're having fun.
Yep, having a blast. Thanks for having me again. Good to be here again.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. This is going to be a fun show. We got to talk about our last points event of the year. Points event number 20 took place at Fast Action Billiards, $1,000 added non-ball event. I feel like we got a lot to cover on this show, honestly, because we got the Tour Championship coming up that we can talk about. We got 20 past events maybe that we can talk about. But right now, we're obviously going to talk about the event at Fast Action. Like I said, it was a non-ball, 32 players. Had a full tournament once again. So that means only one time this year do we not fill up. So I'm super proud of that. Josh, your first time at Fast Action. Let's go ahead and hit on that, first of all. First time at Fast Action. A, how much did you like the place? And B, just how strong of a tournament was it?
I liked it quite a bit. I was actually looking forward. I've been meaning to go over there for a long time. And one of the few opportunities to go and catch up with Clint a little bit. Figure I would see him there. And I was pleasantly surprised. I've never been there. And, now that I live in North Raleigh, I thought Fast Action was going to be further than like Smoking Queue. And it was actually 2 hours on the dot. Going to Smoking Queue takes me 2:20. So I was happy about making it on time for once to the tournament.
Dude, not only were you on time, you were like one of the first people in the door. So good job. Congrats on that. Ian, you were back at Fast Action. Was this your third time there this year?
I think it was the second. I didn't play the
Second,
8-ball, but yeah, second 9-ball. Yep.
Nice. And just, what did you think about the tournament, man? Was it just as fun as the first one that you played in?
Yeah, not for me. I didn't do as good, but it was nice to, see. It's always nice seeing the folks that come out. So, like I said, it changes every time. You got some regulars that come, but yeah, still, I like the place. I like the setup. I think the equipment is good. I know we talked about that. Each table, having 2 different types of tables can be tricky sometimes, but overall, yeah, really, really nice place. So ready for their kitchen to be open. I know they're working on that. So that'll add to, a bonus even next year.
Yes, definitely ready for their kitchen. Cannot wait for that to get open. Before we dive too much into this tournament here, let me read off our sponsors for the day. We had Portico Licensed General Contractors. Thank you so much for Corey Shimtov for supporting us all year. Not Corey Shimtov. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm rattled here a little bit. Portico Licensed General Contractors. Corey Shimtov. PoolDoctors.com with Josh Mullenix. Thank you so much, Josh. Let's see, the Roundabout Grill. Obviously, I might be a little biased, but thank you so much to Roundabout Grill for being a sponsor once again. Obviously, great breakfast or lunch if you're ever in the area. Let's see, Deadstroke Media. Thank you so much to Deadstroke Media for being a sponsor. Pat Dixon, we miss you. Hopefully we see you again soon. Supreme Cues, Sean Brodowski. He'll be at our Tour Championship. TKO Custom Cues, Kirk Overcash. Been making some wonderful cues lately. The Ball Breakers Club, Ketan Patel. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Barry McDonald at Ameris Bank, mortgage banker. If you need anything done, give him a shout. Paul Harrison Custom Cues. Thank you so much, Paul. Inkwell Design, who made another wonderful trophy, which obviously the winner of the tournament got to take home. And, of course, Fast Action Billiards is one of our sponsors, and that's where we are at. So thank you so much. Wonderful sponsors. Obviously, we cannot do this tournament without them, but thank you so much, guys, for being sponsors. Let's dive into the tournament a little bit now. Let's talk about the players list first and foremost. Josh, how does this players list stack up with some of the other tournaments that you've played in this year?
I think it was, as far as the absolute top, probably a little bit on the weaker side. We're used to, at least I am most of the times that I played, you got either it's going to be BJ, Mike, Josh, Wama, or Roberts. And so that was missing in there. But on the flip side, I think like what I would call like the mid-range guys, or like the following tier, there was a bunch of guys at that level, which made it kind of fun to see who was going to win, or who had a chance to get to the top three. So that made me kind of want to look forward to the event, or once I saw the player list, to see what was going to happen. No real favorites, but at least not by much.
Yeah, exactly. I think this was a tournament that was kind of wide open, more so than some of the other ones that we've had in the past. Ian, obviously, you said this was your second time here. Did you feel like maybe you had a better chance going into this tournament than you did the first time?
Yes, and no. Kind of like Josh said, you could argue and say like the big three or the whatever, they weren't there. I would kind of put into the category because I don't know Guama's as consistent as Mike, BJ, and then I would put Renal there too, because he seems like he's always in the semis or better when he plays. But if you look at it, yeah, I guess I thought I had a good chance, but you never know. It could go either way. You could have all the top people there, and then you could be right up there with them. You could have like a mix, like you said, more of the mid-level players, and then you could be, halfway or even further down on the list where you finish. You never know. Short races, it's always makes it interesting.
Exactly, and we did have one first-time casher in this tournament. But first of all, I want to go ahead and mention, obviously, this was our last points event of the year. So we had 20 events this year with 32 players. We filled up all but one. We had 226 different players this year, which went over my goal of 200. Just Josh, you played in the tour a little bit last year. How awesome is it that we had so many players play this year?
I didn't play at the tour at all last year.
Well, you played. I think you played twice. I think.
Oh, okay. I played the one that didn't count for the points.
Yeah,
That was yeah. But I mean, I remember you and I talking at the beginning of the year. I think that was kind of your goal, and the fact that the pool series become more popular, and it kind of, there's no handicaps. You don't have to worry about that, and it kind of gives the format gives a chance to a lot of players, and we finish in one day, and I think that's made it kind of popular, and have a lot of players kind of want to test themselves, even if they're not, if they don't feel like they have a great chance to win. But at first you start, I'm gonna try and win 2 matches, or and so on and so forth, and now with the new format, if you get to the money, single elimination from there, and the way that it's seated, anybody can have a chance.
that's right. Absolutely. I think the style of this tournament definitely, aims towards maybe players that aren't at the top level because they have a better chance maybe. And like you said, you don't have to worry about handicaps. Like there's no reason to complain like, oh, my handicap's too high or this person's handicap is too low. Ian, obviously you came out of retirement this year to start playing pool again. 226 different players. You're one of them. How awesome is it to see a lot of new faces and meet a lot of new people?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. A lot of the people, like I said, I kind of grew up playing with. I don't know if I know some of them aren't around anymore. Some of them are playing in the pool series, and then there's, like you said, a lot of new people. So it's cool, to kind of see what they're all about, and different styles of play. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of players that maybe play similar, but everyone has kind of their own thing. So it's kind of nice to see that with new people that I'm meeting. So yeah, that's a lot of variety. 226 players, especially to have tournaments on a schedule that are more or less local. I don't know how far. I think Raleigh, like I said, is the farthest one. 2.5 hours from Charlotte, and
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot of different people. And so that they're coming from wherever. So that's great.
Multi-state for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we had 7 different states, I believe, if I was counting correctly. Some of the people, it's hard to tell because I don't know exactly where they live.
And at least a couple of different countries. I know that for a fact.
Yes, most definitely two people that currently live in Europe for sure. and yeah, maybe some other places as well.
Who lives in Europe? I'm curious.
Francisco Diaz Pizarro and Gabriel Gindak. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, Gabriel did move over here. He's from Romania. Well, Romanian Spanish. And then Diaz. Ian, I don't know if you he was probably around your era. I will think he was top player from Europe. I mean, he won the Euro Tour, I think, twice, which is an incredibly hard tournament to win. And I want to say he was runner up on the World Nine Ball Championship back in like '09, '10, something like that.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Great player, great player. Yeah, he's very high 700s.
Yeah, super nice guy as well. I think, are they both back over in Europe, Josh? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know that Gimdak was living in Greenville last time I talked to him, but I don't know how long he was going to stay for or anything like that.
I think he's back in Europe. Both of their most recent posts were of them cashing in a tournament somewhere over there. So, yeah,
that makes sense why his Fargo has been getting a lot of. Because I was wondering, it's like, man, how are you getting robustness, up in Greenville?
Yeah, good point. Let's get back to our tournament here. So 32 players. We paid out a total of $3,730. And the first person we're going to talk about is the winner of the tournament. His second win at Fast Action, his third overall win in the pool series, Mr. Clint Clark. I mean, honestly, I feel like him playing at Fast Action, it's almost a lock for him to be in the Final Four. He was there all but once this year. We had 5 tournaments there this year. He was in the final 4 of the 5 times. Ian, just how impressive is it that Clint Clark can play so well at Fast Action?
Yeah, that's definitely consistent results. He is obviously comfortable there. You're not just getting easy draws the whole time. I mean, if you look at the I think the lineup of people that we had, I think he had the highest Fargo. I know he's 7 something, 30 something maybe. I'm
737.
Okay. Yeah, I think he was the highest there. So, you have to put him as a favorite just because of that, I would think. And then I also think that if you're playing at home, that is a huge advantage. When I used to play at the green room, I always played better there than anywhere else. It just felt comfortable there. I was always there anyway. And then whenever there was a tournament, it just felt like I wasn't doing anything different. And then now at Irish Q, I kind of feel the same way there. So I think it makes sense that he finished where he did. And, he won the whole thing. So that's not easy anytime. But, yeah.
Definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. Josh, what did you think about Clint's run in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like basically what Ian is saying. It was not likely, but kind of expected for him to be at least to the semifinals. That would have been my guess. And then once I saw the bracket, I thought his chances were great. And he also hit a pretty good gear in a couple of the matches that at least that I saw.
Yeah, he definitely had some moments where he played great. I think even the last set of the finals, he played wonderful. Which we'll dive into here in just a second, because I do want to talk about the final matchup a little bit. I think both of you guys were probably on the way home at the time, so you probably didn't get to see it, but it was honestly one of the best finals matchups I feel like we have had all year long. But let's talk about the second place guy for a second before we dive into that match. Second place, Hank Powell, another second place finish. Josh, we've talked about this before. He's at the top of my list of people that I probably expect to get a trophy. Comes up just a little short once again. I think you two guys even played each other in the semifinals. Let's just talk about Hank's tournament. How good was he playing?
Yeah, I think we've talked about him quite a few times, and I've been rooting for him to get a trophy. Unfortunately, he had to get to the finals through me, so I was not rooting for him on that match. But usually, every time I see him play, I want him, to see good. And especially, it was a little sad because, Clint already has, I think, 1 or 2 trophies. So I kind of was Two, right? Yeah. So I like Clint a lot, but I was hoping that Hank would take it this time just so he could get his trophy, especially after he beat me in the semifinals. So I was like, well, I hope he, but I would say quarterfinals for his match because I did watch that one, semifinals, and then even though I was driving back home, the finals, that was a little bit of a roller coaster. And I didn't watch much, but I did keep up with the score, and I was a little blown away.
Yeah, it was a heck of a finals. Let's get Ian's thoughts on Hank Powell really quick before we dive a little bit more into that finals. Ian, what'd you think about Hank?
Yeah, I've known Hank. He's one of the guys that I've known going, way back, and he's always played solid, and he still is. And I I didn't see. I don't think I saw the final. I went back and looked at the scores in the bracket. Was it three like close sets? Am I wrong?
The finals was two close sets. Yes.
Two close sets. Gotcha. But his quarterfinal, yeah, that was back and forth from what I remember. I couldn't figure out who was going to win. Look, I think Josh was shooting the 9 to win. I remember seeing that, and I was like a gasp. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" Because yeah, he makes it, he wins, and then I think it was Hill third set. Was it?
It was Hill third set. Yeah.
Woo, yeah, that's tight. So that was. I mean, that's tough for Josh, but yeah, Hank, he's solid. I would say another one of the guys you look at, and whoever's there, and give him a good chance.
Yeah,
you could tell he really wanted it too. Just like a little side note there, because I watched his match against Josh Heater, and I mean, Josh missed that 9 ball there to win, and you could tell the relief after Hank wins. That he's like, man, I'm on the semifinals, and then when he beat me too, you could tell that he was kind of starting to feel the pressure a little bit, and then when he beats me, you could tell he sat on the chair for a little bit, and he was like, wow. And then I guess we'll talk about the finals, but it looked like he was playing pretty good too, and something must have happened halfway through the second set or something like that, because he could have easily taken it 2-0, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wins the first set of the finals against Clint 4-2. He's up 3-0 in the second set. So Hank's up 3-0 in the second set, literally shooting at an 8 ball pretty much to win the match. It rattles. And then from there, it was like the next 3 games, Hank just missed a 7 ball. I think he missed another 7 ball, misses like a 6 ball. I mean, Clint wins the second set, and I think Clint maybe makes like 12 balls in 4 games. Like, it was one of the craziest things ever. And I mean, I just want to ask you guys, like, maybe is there a little bit of pressure there maybe that got to him, do y'all think?
Maybe, I mean, you could tell he was, I don't know if it was pressure, he was excited. I mean, he was feeling something. I can't speak for the guy. But just based on the quarterfinals and the semifinals, his reaction after the match, he doesn't show much emotion at all most of the time. So that's a good thing. But like after the fact, you could tell he was kind of like a little bit relief maybe. So he was definitely feeling something. I mean, we all do. Interesting there is I'm driving home and I remember seeing the score. I think he was up big on the first set, and I see him win 4-2. I just put it down. I keep driving, and I'm doing my podcast and whatnot. And then next time I look at it, he's up. I think it's 3-0 on the second set.
Yep.
Either 3-0 or 3-1. I'm pretty sure. I think it was 3-0.
It was 3-0, yeah.
It was 3-0. In my mind, I just swiped out of the stream again. I'm like, oh, this is over. Hank won this. And I think I got home and then I see the score again and I was blown away. I'm like, what happened here?
So it was a three setter, right? Because he's Hank won first. Okay. So he was up a set in 3-0.
Yeah.
4-2 first set. He was up 3-0 in the second set to win it all. And then he lost the third set 4-1.
Oh, that's so tough. I have, I don't know if not everybody's probably experienced that, but I've been on the wrong side of that. And
oh yeah,
it's tough.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Right? Ugh. Yeah, you got it. You're right there, and then whatever happens. But yeah,
Especially
But
if you have the chance, right?
Mhm.
Especially if you have the chance, because sometimes you might be on the wrong side of it, like you're saying. But like if you don't have the chance, then it's what it is. It's part of the game.
And
But if
it's
you have the
rotate
chance and
break.
you give it away,
Right, but it's rotate break. You're going to have something. I mean, I don't know.
right?
If you just make a good push out, whatever, just it could boil down to that sometimes if it's that close. It just.
I mean, he
Man.
definitely had one good chance when he rattled the 8 ball, and I think he had a 7 ball that he missed also that he had a chance. But also, shout out to Clint Clark for not giving up and continuing to
I,
battle because
that
that's
was
tough
going to
to
be my
do.
next point. That's my next point too, and that's experience there too, where you're down 3-0 and you're telling yourself it's like, dude, just give me one chance. And I know Clint gets on that mode when things are not working or he might be down a lot and it's like almost over. He just goes into like that 2-stroke mode, and if he gets in a little bit of a run, things can flip real quick. And I think he pulled it off on that one.
And
Yeah, he
not only
definitely
that,
got the rhythm.
he did it on the tight table too. So
Yeah.
that's another added kind of element. I feel like.
Oh yeah, and plus
So
with all the thousands that were watching at home at that point too.
That's right. That's right. Too. Whatever. I don't know what time it ended. I was probably asleep, but
It
what,
was like a little after 3 o'clock, I think.
it's not terrible for a place that has, they don't have as many tables as, Smoking Q or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's not terrible. It's
no, not
late,
at all.
but
how was the third set? I'm guessing things
Uh,
completely flipped at that point, right?
yeah, that said, he had no chance really. Like, I don't think he ever really had like a good chance to run a rack. It was just, the balls lined up perfect for Clint, and it was just one of those sets where you're like, okay, it's a race to 4. Like, I never really had a chance, pretty much. Like, it was kind of like basically the pool gods punished him and was like, okay, Clint's winning this match from here.
yeah, Clint, he
And
gets a clean slate in the third set. It's like none of that other stuff matters. They're playing a
Exactly.
race to 4, and that's it. It doesn't matter. So
yeah,
that's
it doesn't matter, but we like Justin's saying that it's like the pool gods just punish you because if you have the chance to win in 2 sets and you were up 3-0, even though it's a fresh set, the momentum completely shifts it. The guy that was down now he feels like he's got a good shot, and in this case Hank that he was up and he was about to win, now he's like, oh my god, now I had to go through a whole third set.
yeah,
Yep.
that's all up
And
here.
mentally, right? It
Yeah,
is.
that's tough. Jeez. Wow. That was
100%.
quite a final. Yeah.
Well, I'm still going to keep Hank at the top of my list of people I expect to take home a trophy. Let's talk about our semi-finalists, guys that got knocked out in third place. Chris Brower, I guess ties this is technically his best finish, I think, because it's tied for third. He finished fourth when we used to do true double elimination, but with the new format, he gets third. So Chris Brower's best finish. Good job, Chris. And Josh Padrone, yes. And Josh Padrone, Josh, in the semifinals once again. You're loving the new format, I feel like. Let's go to Ian first. Ian, go ahead and give us a little bit of your thoughts on Chris and Josh getting third place.
Well, I know one of those two, but I don't know Chris at all. I've never met him. I don't think I even got to meet him on Saturday. I saw him, or saw him get called up and noticed him playing, but I don't know much about Chris. I can speak on Josh. No surprise there. He's been used to getting into the.
I'll go ahead and
Chris. Yeah,
I'll give you a little bit about Chris. He was my Masters teammate this year, my APA Masters teammate. We finished 17th place, so he's a great guy, great player. No, not surprised at all that he got third. It's only a matter of time before he sneaks into a finals. But yeah, continue on, Ian.
Nice. Yeah, good to know. It's nice to know like who to look out for sometimes. You just try to play your game no matter what. But anyway, yeah, Josh, I know you've been playing really solid. You've been consistent in the tournaments. If I understand right, this is your first kind of full year playing the events.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, and it seems like it's just kind of gotten better as you've maybe played more. So I know you're going for, a fair amount of money in the Calcuttas. So I've been, hearing that. So that's always a sign of who people are paying attention, right? And they're going to bet on who they think has got the best shot. So congrats on another top finish there.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Josh, do you have Well, obviously you got thoughts on yourself, but do you have any thoughts on Chris as well?
Yeah, of course. I love Chris, man. He's a cool dude. I saw him play a little bit, and even though I've known Chris for years, but it's not somebody I see he play consistently. Like I might see him play like twice a year. Like I'll see him at the expo, and then I might see him one other tournament, but that's about it. And I may or may not watch a match, but I did watch a couple because I had to wait quite a bit, so I did watch a couple
Yeah.
of his matches, and I remember thinking to myself, it's like, oh, I think Chris actually gotten better since last time I saw him. And so props to him. He definitely looks like he's playing better, and he's got that style too. That if he gets in a gear, he's gonna be hard to beat too. Which was kind of interesting in that match with him and Clint. I couldn't watch much because I was actually planning, the other semifinal match, but I think it's kind of like similar styles. They just kind of go down two stroke it, just play by
Oh
feel,
yeah.
and that's from a spectator's point of view, that's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, they had actually played earlier in the tournament, and Clint beat him in like 30 minutes, and it went super quick. The second matchup in the semifinal, though, that was a back and forth,
Hmm.
really good matchup. So it was good to see. It was good to see Chris put up a fight that second time, and I think Chris has been to fast action twice now, and I think he's cashed both times. So obviously he kind of likes playing there. I feel like, yeah, this him and Clint was 4-2 third set in the semifinals.
Yeah, I was looking at the score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
yeah,
almost went the
Josh,
distance.
yeah, almost. Yeah, I think it's good to see Chris doing well. But Josh, go ahead and talk about yourself a little bit, man.
Talk about myself.
Yeah,
Um, honestly, I think I was surprised to finish third. Just I had just gotten back from vacation and I hadn't hit balls. I didn't hit balls since the previous event that we played. So usually, if I don't hit balls, I don't feel like 100% confident. And that was the first time playing there. So I didn't feel like I was playing my best, not even close to it. But somehow I just pulled a few matches and I had a couple good wins. And but I couldn't. I think the semifinals against Hank, he definitely played way better than I did. So he deserves to win that one. That nine ball that I missed, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But other than that, it's what it is. Um, I was just trying to get like one more rep in before this coming weekend for tour championship. Now I'll be trying really hard this time. This
good,
coming
good. I
weekend, I'll be
mean,
trying really hard.
you definitely did not have an easy day because only one person did you play was not in the money. So it's not a very easy day. And that one person was me. So, I
Yeah,
was the only person you played that was not in the money. So that's a pretty tough
that
day if
was
you ask
not an
me.
easy. Yeah, I haven't been having like the cakewalks of the brackets, but at the same time, I gotta tell myself that that's the reason why I'm going. Like I just don't want to be having just like easy match after easy match. Sometimes I kind of like can turn on you, right? Because then on stage two, if you play three really easy matches and then you gotta draw somebody like I don't know, like Heater or something like that, you might be like, oh, I gotta get it together now, and
100%.
that
Yeah.
that, that might backfire.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk about the guys that lost in the quarterfinals. We got four people that finished fifth place. Lucky Luciano, his second cash of the year. Both of them have been at Fast Action Billiards. Chris Wrigley, first time cash on the pool series. He was one out of the money twice before, so good job, Chris. Eddie Little, the legend, back in the money again. And Josh Heater, also in the money once again. I think he cashed all but once this year. I think he cashed every time he played besides one time this year. So a super strong fifth place finish for all four of those guys. Um, Ian, just give me your thoughts on those four
Yeah,
players.
big shout out to Lucky and Chris. I've played both of them at least once, and they're they anybody can get in the money. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what year Fargo is, who whatever. I mean, they won the matches they had to win to get there, so they good tournaments for them both. So that shows some consistency and some real you know willpower, because it's not none of it's easy, right? So they're doing really good. Josh, yeah, I know we talked about that. That could have gone either way for him. That 1-9 ball makes a difference. Him making the semis and possibly making the final, or finishing in fifth place, and that's kind of what happened. but still a good finish for him. And then who was the other one that you said?
Eddie Little and
Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie Little. Yeah.
Of course, I forget Eddie because he beat me again. But how convenient. But yeah, Eddie is starting to get comfortable playing his game, and he's doing really well. So another top finish for him. So yeah, all of them to keep it up for sure.
Absolutely. I think maybe 4 guys that maybe we should start keeping an eye out to make the money every time. Maybe possibly. Who knows? But Josh, go ahead and give me your thoughts on those guys. You got to beat, you played and beat 2 of them. So there you
go. Chris Wrigley, first time I played him. Super nice guy. I see him at Smoking Q maybe once or twice before recently. And, but just, I think he was just like sweating some matches. This is the first time I've actually seen him play. And it looking at the bracket, looks like he did pretty good. He, I feel like the score against the match with me doesn't kind of show. He almost had like a few more games because he shows like it was 4-1, 4-2, but that first set could have been closer. I mean, he made like a couple tiny mistakes, and like I made some really good outs after that, but. I mean, I know he was struggling just like me with that table because coming from a different table, going on that table was playing like really fast. So I know he was struggling a little bit with the speed, and but he takes his time, and he also plays safety when you're supposed to play safety. He's not taking any kind of crazy risks. So, yeah, and that match. To me, I think that was my favorite match. That Hank Powell, Josh Heater match. That was kind of wild.
Yeah.
It was just back and forth. Hank was playing extremely well the first set. He won 4-2, and I think Hank almost wins that in 2 sets, and that was almost. He almost wins that in 2 sets, and I think he made a mistake, and then Josh did. Like I'm just gonna get into 2-stroke mode. I'm already down. Like let's see what happens. And I want to say Hank makes a mistake, and then he runs out, and then he breaks around the next, or he runs and then he breaks around the next one, and then Hank like breaks dry, and then he runs that out, and now it's hill, and he wins the set. And he keeps that going until the very last rack. I want to say when it's hill on the 3rd set, and I think that's when, which is an easy mistake to do because I feel like I do the same thing. Like I might be methodical at the beginning, but if I get down, I'll just go into that like 2-stroke mode, and then you're like when you have the chance to win, you're like, okay, let me go back to my thinking mode, and that's kind of like a little bit of a mistake there. You could see the flip on Josh like demeanor or like how he was approaching the table versus the last set and a half. And then the 9 ball that he missed. No, was the 9 ball? Yeah, the 9 ball that he missed. Oh my goodness.
It was a shock.
Yeah. And I think that went back, him and I had a conversation because he missed like a little shot here when he played me, and he was telling me that he felt that when he was going down on the shot, he was just out of line. And it looked like he was a little bit out of line. And, he went down on the 9 ball against Hank like a few matches later. And I saw him go down, and then he gets back up. He takes a breath, and you could tell that he was not comfortable on his alignment on that shot. And he missed it by a lot.
Yeah.
And then Hank capitalized, and that was it. That was a crazy match. I love that match. That was really good.
Yeah, that's actually, that's other than the finals, I think that was like my next favorite match on the stream, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing I wanted to add, just what Josh was talking about. Some of these matches, like you look at the score line, and it can be, like you said, in the quarters with Chris, 4-1, 4-2, or whatever. But really, when you're playing that match, it can feel a lot closer than that. And I noticed that too in a couple of matches. I was like, wow, I was, I didn't, the score line doesn't show how close it feels or maybe even is.
Yeah.
So that's another cool thing about the format, like you said.
Yeah, because I mean, like looking at the score now, that match me against Chris, I'm thinking, oh well, that was not close at all. But if I tried to like go back to what actually happened, I was like, that match, he could have. That's last second set. It was 4-2. It should have been hill. and then you don't know what happens from there. And then there was a couple tiny mistakes on, very, very tiny mistakes in the first set. So it's cool to have all the numbers and all the stats. It's like I love that stuff, but a lot of times he just doesn't tell the full story too.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with such short races, every game absolutely matters, and it is more pressure. But congrats to all 8 people that cashed. That's awesome. They all played wonderful. We got to see some new faces, some faces that we haven't seen much. Clint Clark with another victory. He gets to put up his 2nd trophy up there at Fast Action. It's his 3rd trophy overall. Now let's dive into a couple of people that didn't cash. That's me and you, Ian. We didn't cash, but I want to talk about our tournaments. Do you want to hit on yourself first, or do we want to talk about me?
I'll be quick and get out of the way. Because that's kind of how the
that's kind of how the first.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Let me read off. Your results.
Okay.
You beat Tiffany Murr in the first round. Then you lose to Javier Oliu in the second round. Then you beat John Link in your third match, and then you lose to Eddie Little in your fourth match. It looks like you beat John 3-0, 3-0, which is pretty impressive because John does have a 4th place finish on our tour. Javier obviously was playing great that day. You went to a 3rd set with him. And Tiffany, shout out to her for playing in the tournament. It's always nice to see a new face. Always nice to see a lady play as well. But before we get your thoughts, Ian, let's get Josh's thoughts on how Ian did in the tournament.
Man, I didn't watch him this time. Just the way it worked out. No, it's just the way it worked out. I think like I was playing one side of the room, and then he was playing the other side of the room. But when I saw the player list, that was he was one of my favorites to to like make it really far. Matter of fact,
Absolutely.
We've already played on like a couple tough spots in the last 2 events maybe, or like 2 of the last 3 events. And I was thinking, it's like, man, I guarantee you, like, I'm gonna probably play Ian, for the match for the stage 2, or I'm gonna play him like right there. Like in my mind, I already had it. It's like this is gonna be 3rd time playing. I was hoping, that he will make it there, but he did. It's tough to beat Eddie Little. So I don't know how that match went. I'm sure that Ian's gonna let us a little bit more about what happened there. It probably was a good match. So what happened there, Ian?
Well, yeah, I'll start with Tiff first round. It was first round. You got to get kind of comfortable. So that was a nice match for me to kind of get in the groove. But then as soon as I got it, I kind of lost it against Javier. It went 3 sets. I felt like that could have went the other way. Just some things happened, and I just tried to forget about it. But the third match, that's when I guess I was a little mad, you could say. And then against John, like I said, I beat him 3-0, 3-0. I don't think I missed a ball the whole 2 sets and just played safe and whatever and got out. But then again, kind of got the level up and then played Eddie. And that was one of those matches where the scoreline showed 3-1, 3-1, but it seemed like it was a lot closer. Things were kind of happening at weird times, whatever. Eddie again played really well, really solid. But just in the end, that was it. It was a 2-setter. So, but yeah, Josh, like I said, looking at the sheet, whenever you're there, I'm like, maybe I'm going to play Josh. I think we could have a good like rivalry going on.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So
we're gonna keep score. We're gonna keep score. I usually don't keep score, but and we've talked on the podcast a few times. I'm like, okay, every time I play Ian, I'm gonna have to keep score now. What's going on?
That's it. Always good fun. So.
But how do you feel like overall? And how your like game is coming back versus the last couple of events, because you did really good the last couple of events,
Yeah, it's been up and down. Like I said, I had some pretty good results. Just recently though, I've been working on a couple things that I really think is helping, and just recent, because I've been watching pool. Like I have like fully come out of retirement. Like I'm watching pool on TV. I didn't even watch pool for the last 10 years. I don't even know who these people are. And I'm like, what happened to, Roger Griffiths and CJ Wiley and all these people that are old now? And but I'm picking up some things, and I'm starting to implement that. And it really helped me playing the other night at Clemens. I played that Friday night tournament, and it worked out. So I got to the final there.
Tell us the secret. What's
I
Don't give
can't
us a
reveal
cliffhanger.
everything.
Don't give me a cliffhanger here. So, oh yeah, I've been working on all this
Right.
stuff.
Just things that I was doing, I didn't even realize it. But then watching my matches back, and then watching some of the top people on TV, you notice some things, right? And it's like, all right, well, how can I implement that into my
So
game?
you're talking about mostly like mechanics or like
Mhm.
pat? Okay, yeah, like
My
mechanics a
game is
little
all
bit.
based on like mechanics. If I'm like mechanically sound, then I feel like I'm gonna play pretty good. So
Yeah, I'm the
I like
same
that.
way. I'm trying to steer away from that now. I want to say over the last Justin, like 6 months or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin's watched me play for a long time. I'm trying to steer away from that. I think it's time. But I've been that mechanics slow player, just making sure, and I still fall into that sometimes. But I kind of want to learn the other side a little bit. Maybe I'll come back. Who knows?
everyone, like mechanically speaking, everyone has their own. You know what I mean? None of them are wrong if you're playing well. They're all legit, but it's what's specifically work for you. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So,
No, I follow what you're saying.
mhm.
I'm just saying like, well, at least personally, it's just like it was always like I just gotta make sure like like my stroke is like perfectly straight and like I can hit the cue balls perfectly center and like and I've got all the systems, and now I'm just trying to just get to like a nice balance where I can just working on my field because there's some field players that are great. And I think like if you have a good mix and match of both sides, like if you have a lot of knowledge and then you can play by feel ultimately, it's like a good combination if you can.
No,
At
I,
least I'm
I
trying to do that.
totally agree with that because they might as well not have a single diamond on the table because I don't use them. I just look at the spot. You know what I mean? I don't know the diamond system like that. So that's where I kind of play by feel and just
Okay.
just what looks right to you. Sometimes things look funny and that's when you're having an off day. But when you can see things, that's when you tend to play better and you feel better.
Right. That's what I love about the pool series. You were talking about, watching yourself back, and I think that's been like a huge help for me this year. Because I've recorded myself a bunch before and maybe streamed some like gambling matches here and there, but like, with the pool series, you get like such an opportunity. Like if you win at least a couple matches, to be on the stream table, and like at least personally because of that, I've had the chance to be in the stream table a bunch of times, and then you like if you want to take advantage of that, you can go back, watch it, see in slow motion, screen record, draw lines, whatever you need to do to try and figure out where your mistakes are. So for any of the 226 players, I don't know how many were on the stream table, but if you get that chance, like I know sometimes it can be a little scary, because people are gonna be maybe talking smack or you feel judged or whatnot. But if you look at the positive side, like it can really help you, improve
Yeah, and
if you
also
take
if you
advantage.
get lucky enough to do anything really cool on the stream table, we can make a little highlight video.
Yeah, for sure. Some of
Yeah,
them
I don't
have
know.
gotten like 200,000 views too.
Yeah, we get a lot of views on some of them. I don't know how many different people we've had on this stream throughout the year. I know most of the time for one tournament, it's around like 8 or 9 different people.
Well, but let's say if you win a few matches, your chances of being on the stream table go exponentially up.
Yes.
So
Oh,
that
yeah, for
that's
sure.
that's another motivator there.
I'm trying to see how many we had on there this time. Let me see. I'm looking it up here really quick. Um, looks like we had seven at least. Let me see. Then what? Let's see. 8. No. So we had 8. We had 8 different people on the stream this tournament. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but not
So
throughout the year. Yeah, but so
no,
if
I don't
you
know. Yeah.
average
Yeah. I
if
have
you
to go back
average
and look.
7 or 8, right? We're talking about what, like 160 people a year
Yeah.
that could potentially be there. I mean, there's gonna be quite a few that are gonna be repeats, but
I would say
let's
it's probably
say,
around. I would say it's probably around like 50 or 60 different people, probably.
yeah, like 1 in 4 chances. That's not bad.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Let's. We talked about Ian. Let's talk about me for a quick second. Obviously, I finished out of the money. By the way, Ian, you finished 13th place. So just to let the people know, I finished. What did I finish? I don't even know what I finished. I finished pretty bad. I finished 17th place. There we go. First round, I had a forfeit. The opponent didn't show up. Second round, I got to play Josh on the stream table. I win the first set. I played phenomenal. I just got to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say I made a great shot, by the way. That will probably be a highlight. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted to mention
Nambo.
that. Yeah, I made a great combo on the 9. Then after that, I just made a couple of mistakes. Josh, you played well. I feel like I made a couple of mistakes the last 2 sets. That gave you some opportunities that you took. But so I ended up losing in 3 sets to Josh. Then I go play Lisa Cassette. I lose to her, Hill both sets. I think the first set I'm up 2-0, and then literally just the next 2 racks, I think I missed like an 8-ball. And then the second set, just she played really great and pulled out the Hill win. Yeah, it was just it was just one of those tournaments for me. But I had fun. That's really what matters. Let's go with let's get Josh's thoughts first on how I did, or at least our match at least.
Yeah, I mean that was the only one match that I watch.
Yeah.
But per usual, you play like almost perfect that first set, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm in trouble right here. And then not only were you playing that good, you couldn't see this on the stream, but in between shots, he's running back and forth between the computer and then going back to the table. And I'm like, man, I don't know how this guy does that. Um, and then that probably was one of those matches like we were talking about it, because what was the score?
Yeah, there's 3-0, 3-0 last 2 sets.
So it was 3-2 and then 3-0, 3-0. Yeah, and that was probably one of those matches again where I don't think the score like fully tells the entire story, because I think there was a shot where like you kind of weirdly got hooked on the A ball, shooting at the 7 ball from the 6 to the 7 ball. Like the A ball was like in the middle of the table, and that was kind of like weird. Um, and Yeah, I feel like there was a few things like that, but I think that was one of those matches where you were playing so good on the first set, and I'm thinking that I'm in trouble. I just went into that. I'm just gonna go into like 2-stroke mode, and it kind of worked out a little bit for me. And then your couple unlucky rolls and a couple enforced errors just completely changed that match
Yeah, it
in
was
my favor this time.
yeah, you definitely did go into that 2-stroke mode, but that's what I knew. I was like, hey, at least I'm playing well. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it was a couple of rolls here and there, but I mean, you took advantage of the chances you had, and I mean, you definitely deserved to win. So there was, I'm not complaining about that loss at all. Ian, what do you think about my tournament?
It was nice to see you play again. It's not something I know you get to do. You probably want to do more when you can, so that's always good. And Josh, brought up a good point, because I actually did see you. I wasn't playing when y'all started, or at the first or at the end or something, but I was looking and I saw you had to come back and forth, leave the table, come back to the booth, and you also had to, talk to people, check your messages, talk to the other girl that was helping you run things. So you were all over the place, and it didn't throw Josh off. I wish it did, but it was still a great first set for you, and just nice to get back in the tournament. You mentioned you played Lisa. I wanted to give her a quick shout out if I could, just while I'm still talking, because I think she had a really good tournament. I'm not sure where she ended up, but
One out of the money.
Oh, right, 9th place. That's great. I know she puts in the work and she plays a lot. And I don't know how her results have been in the past, but I think she had a win over Jeff Abernathy, and that's big. Good for her. So I don't know if she watches this, but I actually sent her a message on Facebook, and I was like, way to go. That's awesome. Good for you. So I gave her the thumbs up.
Yeah, and shout out to Lisa. Yeah, her best finish in a pool series event, 1 out of the money. Mm-hmm. So I think she's finally getting to where she should be. I don't know why she struggles in our tournaments, but I'm good to see maybe she's breaking through that. And yeah, also shout out to Josh for not being distracted. I've never really thought about that, but it might be distracting sometimes when they're playing against me in the tournament and I'm doing like a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, good job, Josh, for not letting that bother you
I
at
think it
all.
might bother some people. I don't, dude. Like, when I saw you doing that, I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna scroll through Instagram right quick. That's what I do, man. When something like that happens, or like, not that it's bad, but like if I have to wait, or maybe this is like somebody too slow, or they're doing something that it just kind of bothers me. I know they don't recommend this, but like I feel like it helps me. I just open my phone, I might just read some Reddit stories, scroll to Instagram, and then
Oh
um,
heck no, that's crazy work. I cannot touch my phone at all. I keep it under the pool table. I don't want to see
you
it.
do.
Oh gosh,
I can't. I don't even want it near me. I can't.
no, no,
I
no.
I just want to disconnect, and then I feel like it saves my mental energy because I'm just like not thinking about nothing, just having a good time by myself, listening to
Yeah,
music, and then it's my turn, and then I can like focus again.
yeah. Shout out to Reddit, and all the useful stuff on there. It gets me through a lot of boring
Oh,
times. Yeah.
you like Reddit too? That's right. Yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
love
a
it, dude.
Reddit
I love it.
addict. I'm an
It's
addict.
my number one. It's my number one app on my phone.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Ian, you brought up. Shout out to my sister, Danny, for being there to help me for a little bit running the tournament. So shout out to her for helping me. Definitely helped out a lot. Really
Hmm.
appreciate her being there. And she ordered pizza, which I ate a few slices of, so that was nice too. But yeah, guys, that was the fast action tournament, our last event of the year. Before we start talking a little bit about the future, let's talk about the past. Ian, just overall, what's your thoughts on the pool series year of 2025?
Yeah, I came on in July. So since July, I played I think at least one a month. I know I played 5
Nice.
total, and then coming up will be the 6th one of the year for me. So I've had a great time. I am so glad that I got back into this. I don't regret a thing. I'm looking forward to the next year, how it grows, where it's going to go, and then to get above for that 226 to just keep growing and bringing out more people. Where does it go from here? We don't know. So it's only going to go in a positive direction, I feel like. So looking back on this year, I had some ups and downs, but hey, I can't complain. I'm just glad to be playing again. It's something I've done for a long time, and it took a while to kind of get things together. Took some time off. People know that now, so all good stuff. Yep.
Good, dude. We're definitely glad to have you back around and glad you're having fun. Glad you love the tournaments. Josh, what's your thoughts overall on 2025 for the pool series?
Man, I had a good time. I was thinking, how many events did I get in? 8.
I think 8.
Uh,
Yeah, I think 8.
yeah. So when we talked at the beginning of the year, I knew I think I committed to 7 of them because I played all the ones that I told you I was gonna play, and this one, the fast action one, was like the last minute thing. And just came back out of vacation, and I felt like I had a chance outside chance to finish on the top 3 and try to get that little extra bonus. So that kind of motivated me a little bit. Um, I loved it, man. There was a lot of ups and downs. I didn't get the goals for the year on the pool series, but I mean, it was just, I want to say, like a couple balls away from actually getting there. Because when you and I talked last December, so almost a year ago, I knew I wasn't going to finish first or second, but I felt that if I play well, I could finish third because I figured that BJ and Mike were going to play a lot of them, and I was only going to play like close to 50%, if anything. And I got fourth place just by a small margin. Congrats to Heater. He played really good and he won one. Or at
He
least he
did
had
win
2
one,
finals.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won one and lost in another finals.
So the goal was I wanted to finish third place or better, and I wanted to get a trophy. And I got 2 finals, and I didn't get there, but it's close. So I can be disappointed. And maybe, who knows, next week. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, you never know. You still
You
got
never
time
know.
this year to win a trophy.
Right. True
Uh,
that. But I
yeah,
loved it,
let's
man.
talk.
I was looking forward to a lot of events. And that kind of like helped me, like get some motivation to put some practice time, which is really what you need. You need to find a motivation to practice. And this kind of helps you if you like competing.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, you definitely got to practice. Let's talk about the points a little bit. Obviously, the points year is over. Top 3 finishers get a little bit of extra cash at the end of the year. Those top 3 are Mike Davis, who basically had first place locked up for probably 5 months now. Second place, BJ Usry. Third place, Josh Heater. Yeah, Josh, you finished 50 points behind him. If you had pulled out the win at Fast Action, you would have got third. Clint Clark actually just finished right behind you in fifth place.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have, if you would have had a bad showing, he might have, if you and Josh Heater had a bad showings, he might have been able to jump up there and took
You're right.
third. But I think the points has been a success. I think it's been a lot of fun. I think people are taking it super serious. It's brought people to a couple extra events that they wouldn't have gone to. Ian, you finished 20th place with 270 points. I finished 24th place with 220 points. The top 64 make the tour championship. We actually had a tie for 64, so it's actually the top 66 that qualify. But yeah, Ian, what's your thoughts on the points, man? And do you like it? And do you see yourself maybe next year trying a little harder to finish like top 5?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think playing the 5 events and then, getting high enough to, not just get top 64, top 20. So that's always kind of nice. And then, yeah, it's motivating. Like I said, you get the bonus if you get another trophy. Recognition's always great, being at the top of the list. So that's another, I didn't even think about that for next year. That would be a goal. Reasonable. I think I'll get top 10. I think I'm going to play more events. So, and then we'll just see how it goes. I don't guess anything rolls over. Am I right?
No, none of it. So no,
slate.
It all
Okay.
it all resets right now. All this goes back to zero.
Gotcha.
Right now, we won't go back to. Nobody will have a point until next February. So
Yeah.
we're all back
This
to
is no
zero
match
now.
room.
No,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
This is no match room. Emily
Whatever
Francis is
works.
running the show.
As long as I understand, that's right. Then we can set a goal. That's all right. Good deal.
Yeah, it's just the points are just for 1 year only. Because if they carry over, Mike Davis might never get caught between last
That's
year and this
true.
year. Because he
Nobody,
won
we
last
don't
year
want
as well.
that. No. Okay.
Yeah, Mike won last year as well. He's 2 for 2 on our points years. So he's got a stranglehold on that. Josh, what do you think about the points, man? Do you think it's definitely something that the people are really enjoying?
Oh, I love it. And I think it gives something for everybody because, like, I want to say the top guys, like Mike, BJ, and Wama didn't because he does his own thing. But at least like Mike and BJ, at least we're gonna be trying to shoot for first, and that was $1,000 bonus in there. And then like right below those guys, there's like a few of us that there's always a little bit of competition because you talk to them, like I talked to Heater, you talk to Hank or like or Ronald, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm this close or that close, and you get finish second or third, you get some bonus in there. But also, like a little shout out here to Kevin Candido. He finished on 11th place, but I feel like at all levels, you kind of want to achieve something, and the points help you for that. Because he told me at the beginning of that event that he showed up because his goal was to finish in the top 10. So he wanted to do good on the tournament so he could get to the top 10, and he barely got edged out. But I feel like on all the levels, like you just want to kind of like climb the ladder. It's just what makes it fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And next year we're going to do a slight change next year to the extra payout. We'll a little teaser there. We'll announce that later on. But let's say that there's going to be more players that are going to get a little bit of that little bonus pie next year. It won't just be top 3. So there you go. It can give the people, like you said, Kevin Candido, Ronald and those guys, maybe now they have more incentive to show up for 1 or 2 extra events because more people are going to get that little bit of bonus money. Let's talk about the Tour Championship coming up. Let's talk about it. It's $2,500 added. It's at Smoke and Q. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be, I think, a super great tournament. Josh, what's your expectations going into that tournament, and just how great of a thing do you think it is for the pool scene in our area?
Dude, I'm so looking forward to this event for many reasons. The top 64 qualifies, so it's just going to be everybody's going to be pretty good. all the top guys or most of the top guys are going to show up. So we're not just going to have the top 2, 3. There's going to be probably 5 or 6 like really heavy hitters. So they're going to have their own fight, and then there's going to be, the guys, the tier below that. That's going to be a lot of fighting there, and it's 2 days. It's going to be the first pool series ever. That's a 2-day event, like a scheduled 2-day.
No, we had the that one last year at Smoking Q. That was 2 days.
Well, that was the big one. Yeah, yeah. But I'm from the actual tour, because that was open, right?
Yeah, that one was. Yeah. That was not
Yeah.
part of the actual tour. So yeah, this is the first one on the tour that will be 2 days. Yes.
So that's gonna be interesting. I think the second day always brings some like additional drama, right? You're bringing the top 16. Everybody's already on the money, so like thing changes a little bit. Some people play better the second day. Some people play better late on the first day. I think we're gonna see some upsets, man. I really do.
I think so too. I definitely think we'll see some upsets. I think it's going to be a super. I really do think it's going to be possibly the best tournament of the year, as it should be,
Mm-hmm.
But Ian, how excited are you? Well, neither one of you guys got to the tour championship last year, even though we only did 32 players last year. But Ian, how excited are you for this one? I think this could be like your biggest tournament since you've been back to playing.
Yeah, it definitely is. I had played in some open tournaments before, and then they've also been 2 days, but that's been a while. I don't really remember a lot of them. I know I've done it before. But yeah, it definitely adds more to the mix. You have to really, you want to get to day 2 and come back. So that's the ultimate goal. And then, whatever happens from there. But yeah, it's going to be good competition. Like you said, there's bound to be some upsets. That's just, I think, because of, the level of a lot of people. They're bringing their A games, and then the format also adds to that, we know. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I try not to really think about it a whole lot. I'm going to go to Smoking Q, and because I don't live far, I'm going to go there and practice this week and just kind of, get some extra time in on the tables, because every place is a little different. So whatever I can do to maybe get an advantage, that's what I'm going to do. So, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Don't forget they do have a good Wednesday night tournament.
Yeah, I have not played in. I used to play in that a lot. I think that's where we met originally.
Yeah, that is, I think, where we met. Yeah,
I used to go there a lot on Wednesdays, but I'm not sure if I'll do that, or I might just pop in on like Friday afternoon or something like that. I'll have to see, but hopefully I get a couple hours in or something like that, just to get some reps in.
Perfect. Well, guys, this has been a fun show of the TPS reports. This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this. Before we sign out, let's get your last words. Josh, what's your last words with all the people out there?
Thank you all, guys, for supporting the pool series and showing up and making it a fun year. And I'll see you all on Saturday.
That's right. Ian, do you have any last words to all your fans out there?
All the fans, gotta love it. No, everyone that has participated, that's awesome. Keep it up, keep coming, keep playing, keep practicing. Justin, congrats to you on setting some goals, setting some big numbers, and you're ending the year strong. I am super proud of you because, like I said, I've known you for a while. This is great that you got all this going. So yeah, really looking forward to finishing the year off strong, and then even looking ahead to next year, more exciting things to come.
Thank you so much. And for all you people out there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button, and let us know what you're thinking. And this is the TPS Reports. Find us on the Pool Series YouTube channel. Also follow that Pool Series Facebook page. And until next time, we will check y'all later.
See ya.
All right. See